Dear students, let us begin with the second part of the lesson on India and BRICS, in which we will discuss about India's role in BRICS. In 2016, during the BRICS summit hosted in Goa, India articulated several objectives it aimed to achieve through the forum: reforming international institutions, gathering support for its entry into the UN Security Council, obtaining the support of the BRICS states to counter terrorism, enhancing economic cooperation with other BRICS states, and institutionalization of intra-BRICS initiatives. India has worked on these objectives to varying degrees by engaging with regional institutions and promoting good governance for the greater regional good. Historically, India's role in the BRICS organization had been relatively lukewarm before the COVID pandemic. However, this dynamic has strong potential to change in the future as India assumes a more proactive role in the Indo-Pacific region. India's strategic alignment with Western countries, along with its participation in initiatives like the Quadrilateral Security Dialogue, Global Alliance for Vaccine Partnership, and the International Solar Alliance, extends its influence globally and places greater responsibility on India's shoulders. This global engagement pushes India to rise above regional differences and tensions, fostering a broader vision of global consciousness for the development of humanity as a whole. In the post-COVID world, most global economic and financial institutions have projected India's economic growth to be the highest among all BRICS nations. This economic growth is expected to facilitate India to play a more significant role within the BRICS. India's initiative in establishing a BRICS bank as an alternative funding agency to the IMF for crisis lending has contributed to de-dollarizing financial relations among BRICS countries. While China primarily seeks to increase the share of the yuan currency in interstate trading and exchange, India supports the importance of increasing the share of other currencies apart from the dollar in international exchanges to reduce reliance on the Western dominated global economic order. Thus, India lends issue-based support and seeks greater regional parity through BRICS for the global south, without harboring revisionist ambitions for the global order like Russia and China. Despite some limited progress by the BRICS platform in advocating for the importance of providing growth opportunities to developing nations, the organization faces challenges due to its internal differences. Notably, continued hostilities between India and China significantly diminished the organization's effectiveness. BRICS official statements have offered lukewarm support for India and Brazil's membership in the United Nations Security Council. However, when such resolutions are presented at the UN, China consistently opposes them. Additionally, China opposes India's membership in the Nuclear Suppliers Group, citing India's refusal to sign the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty and the Comprehensive Test Ban Treaty as reasons for its objection. India, in response, takes measures to keep China out of its immediate neighborhood. This includes denying China permission to join regional organizations like the South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation and the Indian Ocean Rim Association. However, India acknowledges the undeniable reality of China's presence in the Indian Ocean region. While both countries have overlapping interests and areas of cooperation, moves and counter-moves between India and China contribute to growing regional tensions. These tensions persist despite the existence of shared interests. Efforts to counter security threats are more actively implemented in the Shanghai Cooperation Organization than within the BRICS framework. This is primarily because Central Asia is geographically close to the conflict-ridden Middle East, and the region holds significance for both Russia and China due to its abundant energy reserves. As a result, BRICS faces challenges due to these dynamics. BRICS carries the potential to emerge as a strong regional framework for regional cooperation. India, in particular, has gained prominence in the eyes of the world and within the organization over some time. However, India's role in the organization depends on how it deals with the impact of the pandemic. India suffered significantly during the second wave of COVID-19 infections in 2021, which compounded the challenges stemming from the first wave that had already dealt a severe blow to the Indian economy. To highlight the cultural appeal of its rich natural resources, India has launched various schemes and initiatives. These include the Dekho Apna Desh initiative and offering the first 5 lakh visas for free to attract tourism and recognition. These efforts are in line with India's overarching vision for post-pandemic recovery, Atmanirbhar Bharat. India has introduced several schemes including Digital India, Startup India and Atmanirbhar Bharat Rozgar Yojana. Additionally, the government has implemented major fiscal policy measures such as tax relief, duty waivers on medical equipment, government-backed credit guarantees and financial transfers to subnational governments, all aimed at boosting economic recovery more quickly and effectively. The post-pandemic world is expected to differ significantly from the pre-pandemic one. Fragile economic situations are likely to intensify geopolitical tensions as each country, in its desperate need for improvement, may push lesser developed nations into uncomfortable compromises. This global race for resources is anticipated. Trust and confidence in international and regional organizations have reached all-time lows. Major blows have been dealt to the credibility of the United Nations, WHO and the EU. For instance, the US withdrew funding from the WHO at the height of the coronavirus crisis, and several EU members resorted to premature border closures without seeking the regional body's guidance. The global community's preparedness for a health crisis was found wanting, leading to limited support for other nations. India, for instance, received faulty test kits from China, and during the devastating second wave, it had to reduce exports of vaccines and oxygen cylinders due to shortages in supplies to meet domestic demand. This lack of preparedness and limited support left international trust and cooperation in short supply. Contributions to international and regional organizations are likely to fluctuate as economies face crises in the near future. The ability of BRICS to survive and thrive in this uncertain atmosphere remains to be seen. The group faces the challenge of building trust, particularly in light of mounting differences between India and China. The ongoing differences between India and China pose a significant challenge. Resolving these differences is essential for maintaining the cohesion and effectiveness of the BRICS group. The ongoing differences between India and China pose a significant challenge. Resolving these differences is essential for maintaining the cohesion and effectiveness of the BRICS group. The global landscape is undergoing significant changes, and the ability of international organizations and groups like BRICS to adapt and address the challenges will shape their future relevance and success. I hope you understood about India's role in BRICS. We will discuss about the 15th BRICS Summit and expansion of BRICS in the next video. Thank you.